The movie starts with Harry, a wrestling coach at a college. Before coaching, Harry served in the American military. He decides to teach wrestling to students to stay busy. One evening, Harry receives a sudden call from Detective Jones. Jones informs him that Harry's teenage daughter, Jane, is in the hospital in a coma after being attacked by her boyfriend. Harry is deeply saddened and shocked by the news. He can't believe his daughter has been hurt. Harry quickly rushes to the hospital to see Jane, who is unconscious. He sits by her bed, watching her condition worsen. Soon, Jones arrives and tells Harry that Jane's boyfriend has been arrested and has confessed to hurting her. The boyfriend admits that he got angry when Jane refused to be intimate, and in his rage, he attacked her, not realizing it would put her in a coma. After hearing this, Harry asks Jones to make sure the boyfriend gets the maximum punishment. If the police can't do it, Harry vows to take matters into his own hands. Shortly after Jones leaves, Jane's condition worsens. Doctors and nurses rush to give her emergency care, but Harry can only watch in silence. Sadly, Jane passes away, leaving Harry devastated. A few days later, Harry attends the trial for Jane's death. After a long process, Jane's attacker is sentenced to life in prison. This gives Harry some comfort because it's the justice he wanted, though it doesn't bring Jane back. After the trial, Harry tries to move on with his life, but he still struggles with Jane's death. He often looks at her pictures and spends his evenings drinking. Detective Jones calls once to check on him, but Harry doesn't want to worry him, so he says he's fine and thanks him for his help. Before ending the call, Jones tells Harry to reach out if he needs anything. The next evening, Harry tried to distract himself from his sadness by going to the movies. However, his enjoyment was interrupted when a young man started bothering his female friend. Harry got irritated and scolded the young man, even throwing popcorn at him. After the movie, the young man confronted Harry outside. Harry calmly told him to go somewhere else if he wanted to flirt. This made the young man angry, and he pulled out a knife. But Harry, being a former military member and wrestling coach, easily stopped him. The next day, Harry went back to coaching wrestling. He focused on training his favorite student, Curtia, giving her advice and encouragement. He even offered her extra classes if she wanted to improve more. Harry did this because Curtia's face reminded him of his late daughter, Jane. So he saw his daughter in Curtia. Later that evening, Curtia finished her wrestling class and went home. However, her stepfather, Tom, was upset because she didn't bring him any food. Angry, Curtia went to her room to avoid arguing. When she slammed the door, Tom became even angrier and accused her of being disrespectful. He thought she was always rebellious and slapped her, telling her to leave. Furious with Tom's behavior, Curtia fought back and hit him. Luckily, her mother, Linda, came in and stopped the fight. Tired of Tom's mistreatment and feeling unappreciated as Linda's daughter, Curtia decided to leave despite Linda's pleas. Meanwhile, Harry was driving home when he saw Curtia alone at a bus stop. He stopped and invited her to talk in his car. He took her to a restaurant, where she told him that her stepfather always scolded and treated her badly. That's why she chose to leave home after Tom kicked her out. Hearing this, Harry advised her to go back home because Linda would be worried about her. Harry also promised to talk to Tom. At that moment, Harry admitted that he did all this because he considered Curtia as his own daughter and didn't want to lose someone he cared for again. After hearing Harry's advice, Curtia agreed to follow his suggestion, and he immediately took her back home. The next day, Harry continued his wrestling coaching as usual. After the class, he decided to visit Curtia's house to talk to Tom. When he arrived, he gave Curtia some money to buy food and stayed behind to discuss how Tom was treating her. Harry asked Tom to treat Curtia better because his behavior was hurting her mentally. He warned Tom that if he didn't stop, he would report him to the police for child abuse. However, Tom didn't seem to care and told Harry to stay out of his business. This made Harry even angrier, and he twisted Tom's arm. Just then, Curtia returned with the food, and Harry told her to give it to Tom, who was now in pain. Seeing Harry stand up for her, Curtia felt relieved and threw the food at Tom's injured arm. 2 days later, while coaching wrestling, Harry was happy to see Curtia looking cheerful again after he confronted Tom. Tom, aware that Harry might confront him again, decided to stop mistreating Curtia. At home, Tom contacted his associate, Sergio, who worked for Rich, a mafia boss involved in trafficking women. Tom told Sergio about his argument with Curtia, and Sergio offered him $10,000 to hand her over for an auction to wealthy clients. Not caring about Katia, Tom agreed to Sergio's offer and promised to deliver Katia after her classes at campus. After the call, Tom contacted Katia, pretending to be concerned, and offered to pick her up from campus and also pick up Linda from her office. Surprised by his sudden kindness, Katia agreed. When her classes ended, she found Tom waiting for her and got into his car, not knowing what he was planning. The following evening, Harry received a phone call from Jones, who told him that the police had just received a report from a mother about her daughter's disappearance. Jones explained that the report came from Linda, who was looking for her daughter, Katia. Upon hearing that Katia was missing, Harry rushed to the campus to check the surveillance cameras. Upon arriving at the campus, Harry asked a security guard to show him the camera footage from the previous day. He saw that Katia was picked up by Tom before she disappeared. Suspecting that Katia's disappearance was related to her stepfather, Harry went to confront Tom. Although Harry asked politely, Tom responded arrogantly and refused to answer his questions. This made Harry angry, and he attacked Tom until Tom admitted that he had handed Katia over to Sergio. Harry then forced Tom into the car to take him to Sergio's location. Meanwhile, at Sergio's home, Sergio was making juice when he was suddenly surprised by Harry bursting in and throwing Tom into the house. Without hesitation, Harry attacked Sergio, demanding to know where Katia was. Unable to endure the torture, Sergio confessed that he had handed Katia over to Rich, a mafia boss who kept women to be sold at a casino hotel in Las Vegas. According to Sergio, Rich would auction off the kidnapped girls to wealthy clients, and the highest bidder would have full control over the girls. Furious at the cruel treatment of Katia, Harry locked both Sergio and Tom in a room before heading to Las Vegas. He also contacted Detective Jones to inform him that Katia was being held captive by a mafia boss and asked for his help in rescuing her. After getting this information, Jones went to update Linda on the search for Katia before heading to Las Vegas to join Harry. Upon hearing this, Linda insisted on going with him, and Jones reluctantly agreed. When Harry arrived at the casino hotel, he pretended to be a participant in the auction and was directed to meet the hotel manager, Dale. Dale asked how Harry learned about the auction, and Harry lied, saying he got the information from Sergio, claiming they were good friends with the mafia member. Believing Harry was not a threat, Dale gave him a room key and informed him of the auction schedule, which would be held online at 11 p.m. In his room, Harry contacted Jones, who had just arrived at the Las Vegas police station. During the call, Harry requested that Jones and the other police units not raid the casino hotel yet because he hadn't found Katia. However, the Las Vegas police chief, Vanessa, rejected Harry's request and planned to carry out a raid immediately. Frustrated, Harry explained that if they raided too soon, the mafia would hide Katia and the other girls, making them impossible to find. Harry suggested pretending to participate in the auction to locate the captive girls first. After completing his mission, he would inform the police to proceed with the raid. After hearing this, Vanessa finally agreed to Harry's plan. At 11 p.m., Harry entered a room to participate in the virtual auction, where several young girls were being sold. When Harry saw Katia's photo, he immediately placed a bid for her. However, a wealthy Arab bidder offered a higher price, forcing Harry to try and raise his bid. Unfortunately, Harry lost the auction, so he quickly contacted Jones to send the police to the casino hotel. Meanwhile, Harry would search for Katia and the other girls held captive by Rich. After getting the call, Jones and his team immediately headed to the casino hotel. Harry then confronted Dale to find out where Katia was. He learned that she was being held at Rich's headquarters, located in a warehouse near the airport. Without hesitation, Harry informed Jones about the warehouse and then went there to rescue Katia. When he arrived, Harry lied, saying he was there to pick up Katia because he had won her in the auction. But Rich's right-hand man, Martin, didn't allow Harry to enter, saying he needed permission from Rich. Harry then claimed to be a close friend of Rich who had permission to take the girl he chose. Believing Harry, Martin let him go to where Katia was, but with an escort from his henchmen. When Katia saw Harry, she accidentally called him Coach, which made Martin's men realize Harry was trying to free the captive women. With no other choice, Harry fought the henchman and, after defeating him, quickly took Katia and the other girls to hide in an underground room. Unfortunately, Rich arrived at that moment and ordered Martin to take all the girls back to the holding room while he confronted Harry. Rich pointed a pistol at Harry, cornering him. Just as Rich was about to finish off Harry, Jones and his police team arrived and shot the mafia boss to stop him. In the end, the film shows Harry and the police successfully rescuing Curtia and exposing the human trafficking ring run by the American Mafia. Harry feels relieved because Curtia is safe and can reunite with Linda, who has been waiting for her daughter to come home. So the moral of the story is, when life gets tough, always have a spare set of wrestling moves and a really convincing lie, because you never know when you'll need to rescue someone from a mafia auction.